Hello, you beautiful beings, and welcome to this little energy update video. I'm feeling like there's a lot of deep lack programs coming up right now. A lot of scarcity consciousness coming up through the heart center to be seen and to be released. You might even be feeling like, is this even mine at times? Because it could just be like this dense, heavy brick of energy, of like lack energy or scarcity consciousness. And it might not even have a story to it. You might not have any memory of the energy here. And so you might even wonder, like, is this even mine? What is this? And it's nice to have a curiosity about what we're feeling, you know, like this gentle sense of, okay, what is this energy and what does it need? And you might not get an answer to like what it is specifically or where it came from, but you might get a real clear answer to the second question about what does it need. At least this is how it kind of goes for me. And today, when I was feeling through this just dense brick of heavy scarcity energy, of lack energy, the energy spoke, like you could say the energy spoke to me, or my intuitive sense was when I asked that question, was that this energy needed me to really relax into it with softness and tenderness. It's like this energy, whether I wanted to say it was mine or part of the collective or something I took on for someone else via a soul contract for this life, who knows? At the end of the day, there's just energy in our heart center that is really wanting to be brought to the light. And so regardless of where we sense something is coming from, if we're even able to, it's like this energy I could feel for me, it was just needing some loving presence. And, my heart center has been so blown wide open and so cleared out through so much grace and through so many healing retreats with immensely gifted healers and communities that are just so unbelievable. I've had truly the honor of really being in some really beautiful and precious spaces to where my heart could really clean out, really empty out of a lot of pain, of a lot of trauma. And so I've had this just really wide open heart for a while on the path. And when we're a Bodhisattva, when we're here, another way of saying that is when we're here, not for maybe like a personal agenda, but we're here for the one. We're here for the evolution of all humans, because we are the one, we are all humans. So when we are, kind of carrying this mantle of being a Bodhisattva, and we have a wide open heart center, sometimes life or the divine will give us something heavy to digest because we have enough fire in our field that we can burn it up. Maybe someone else, or maybe you could say it come from a past life when we didn't have the capacity to do it, or we take something on for the collective that someone else really couldn't burn up and didn't have the capacity to burn up. That's another perspective. Or it's something super deep in you that in the past, you didn't have the capacity to be with, but now you do, so now it gets to come up. Whatever theory that we want to put on it. And of course, all these different theories have their own relative truth and their own relative flavor, and one might feel especially true for you. That's beautiful. But whatever we're kind of labeling what we're being with and its origin, it's with us for a divine reason. There's no accidents here on earth. I keep saying this, but the geometry of this reality is essentially perfect. So you can really, you can just know that what you're with right now is what you're meant to be with. And maybe it feels burdensome for the ego, the separate self kind of identity. Maybe you're kind of having these thoughts, if this heaviness wasn't here in my heart center, then I could be off doing these other things. I had a little bit of that because I have this free pass to this music festival. But, you know, I'm, and it's not too much, but there was this part like, oh, I could be at that music festival having so much fun with all those people. But when I felt into this density in my heart and the lack programs in my heart and the energies in my heart that feel so separate from love, I could feel like going to the music festival today and right now just isn't the highest. And I've had to surrender that kind of ego program that's like, but there's all that, basically there's all that dopamine stimulation, right? And connection with other people. And that can be healing for sure. But this music festival, it's pretty wild. There's a lot of intoxication going on and absolutely no judgment to any of that. But just for these tender parts, it's like, that's not quite the healing connection that they're really looking for. They're more looking for something like in a healing container, you know? And so, and I do have some of those sessions coming up, which is nice. I'm probably gonna go get a massage at some point too. But yeah, it's just, so you might have those egoic layers come up and say, oh boy, if this density in the heart wasn't here, we could just be out doing this and that and achieving this and being this person or whatever. We could be at the music festival, you know, just vibing. And hey, maybe the tender parts in my heart and this energy that feels separate from love, maybe later tonight or tomorrow, because it goes through tomorrow, maybe they'll be like, okay, I want to go listen to some music. Let's go see some friends, getting some chills saying that. So, you know, maybe it's just needing a break. I'm not going to say I overdid it last night. I danced too much. The music was too good. And I kind of abandoned some of these precious parts in my heart a little bit that were saying, hey, I'm tired. I want to go home. I'm tired. You know, like I need to be alone now. The music was so loud. I actually had to go buy earplugs so I could be up closer to the stage. Because I mean, if I'm going to be there, I'm going to be dancing and I'm going to be in it, you know. I like to do things all the way. But yeah, and then there was like a bunch of, you know, just drugs in the air. And like I said, no judgment. I definitely had my day with that kind of stuff. But this part was like, I just want to, you know, I want to be at home in bed. Just kind of, I've had enough of this, but I was that part of me that loves stimulation, you know, was like, I can't leave right now. And the band was so fucking good. And so I definitely overdid it last night. And so now I'm having to come back into balance with this part. And today I was like, I've been wanting to go, but I've been noticing if I go and this part is, I'm not connected to this part of me, it's not going to be any fun. I'm just going to feel tired and exhausted and conversation's going to feel heavy and I'm just not going to enjoy myself. So today I really had to surrender that part of me and I said, all right, I told this energy within me that's hurting so much in my heart space, I told it, you know, we're not going to go until you want to go. And this is the path of the Bodhisattva, of giving your life to divine will, is you devote yourself to doing whatever it takes to you know, stay in alignment with the highest and what the most wounded parts within you are needed in every moment. It's like you want to stay right with them, because actually when we get out, like when we kind of abandon those parts, you know, last night the music was good, the dancing was sort of fun, but honestly, if I'm being super honest, I would have had a more fulfilling time if I had just come home when my heart wanted me to come home. And we learn this stuff. Like, I'm not, like, don't ever be hard on yourself about this. But actually the most fulfillment I ever experience is when I'm one with the pain within me, with the heartbreak and hurting energies within me. And so today has been a day of resyncing with those parts. And like I said, maybe later tonight, as everything starts to shift into the nighttime realm energy, perhaps this part will want to go to the festival, and then I'll get to go to the festival, you know, as one with the hurting parts of me, merged with these parts of me that are in pain, or this energy that's in pain. And then it's like I get to be there feeling whole, like in a state of wholeness. And I had the wholeness, I had that inner state for a while, but when I kept pushing it, I felt like how I had this feeling as I started going into separation. And I started to feel major lack towards the end of my time at the festival last night. I was like, why am I in this lack vibration where I feel like I'm almost in like taking energy, right? And there was no judgment about it, but I was just like, this is really interesting. And it's because I was getting disconnected from myself. And so I wasn't feeling whole because I was in separation from my highest truth for a while, right? And so it's like, that's the refinement process. When we notice we're in deep lack, asking like, what's this about? It's like, oh, I'm not connected with my heart. That's been trying to tell me this music's too loud. These people, there's too many drugs around. I'm tired. I don't think the drugs were a big deal because it's a very peaceful vibe, mostly. I just think it was like a combination of things. And so I started to notice I was feeling a separation from my core, from my depths. And that's when we start feeling lack, right? And so today has been a day of a lot of, I've done 2 different yin yoga videos on YouTube. Just been really connecting with the heart, being at home, and I'm starting to feel myself coming back into wholeness. And it's like, cool, this is where I want to be. It's like we want to be in wholeness more than we want to stay at the music festival for an hour and a half too long or 2 hours too long or whatever, right? That's why I was saying I would have just been more fulfilled to come home a little bit earlier. So it's better to be in wholeness, maybe in aloneness, in solitude, not doing much, than it is to be at something super stimulating and exciting, but you're in separation from your heart, right? That's actually going to be less enjoyable. And it's like we learn these things. We're all learning every moment, like literally every moment. We're all being granted the gift of another experience of refinement and deep learning about life so that we can become masters in this realm. And then we'll go on to another realm and become a master there. And we've already been masters in a multitude of realms, right? So yeah, I'm learning mastery in this earthly realm. And one thing about that is it's like, if you're feeling lack in your heart or scarcity consciousness or something heavy and dense and hurting, stay connected to it. Stay deeply connected to it and try not to get out in front of it or to move away from it or to chase stimulation or whatever, and just stay right with it. And even though you might be in a lot of pain, you're going to feel connected to yourself and all that you are, and you're going to move in the state of wholeness, in the state of oneness with life. And everything you do will be much more rich and deep and full, even if there's that aching pain there. It's like you'd rather be with the aching pain and to just be living right with it and experiencing life one with it than trying to do things to avoid it. Because when you're doing things to avoid it, you're in separation. But when you're right with it, you're in oneness. And oneness transcends pain. Actually, the thing we think we want from the ego perspective, we think we want pleasure and to avoid pain. But actually what we want, so many chills saying this, is just to be in oneness with life. That's what we really want. And so where is that oneness with life? For me today, it's been having to surrender, going to the music festival, maybe I'll go later, and to just connect deeply with my heart. And sometimes the heart's like, wants to go do something and maybe we're afraid to go do it, and that's a different kind of teaching, right? Then we have to surrender the part that's afraid to put themselves out there and to go to things, and maybe that's some of you guys there. You're learning that lesson as the heart's kind of pulling you out into life a little bit more. Like I said, I've had a really open heart chakra for a long time, so I've really got to immerse in life. I've had very little fear of just going for it, and so many freaking chills saying this, of just being in life deeply, having really profound, deep experiences. You watch my past videos, you'll see a lot of that. So right now, has been a time of, okay, I've had to let go of wanting to have that experience, and we're just going to be here with the heart, and feeling how much the pain in my heart has appreciated that. So I just wanted to end this video with a special thank you to Sharon for your donation yesterday. It was, super heart opening, and just lovely to receive that. So thank you so much. And if any of you, if any of the rest of you would like to support this work with a donation, I'll leave some links in the comments below. You could also join the Patreon, and I'm offering right now scholarship session applications. If you're unable, these are for those of you unable, if you're in a financial position right now where my regular rate just isn't doable, I wanted to give you guys another avenue to connect with me if you're in need of one-on-one support, if you feel inspired to do that. So that will be in the comments as well. Other than that, it just feels like such a blessing to be here with you all, just sharing my heart with you, and I'm just sending you all so much love. Namaste.